Hi, hello, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Today we are going to discuss about very important concept. Actually, in JavaScript, we have the classes. Okay, classes were introduced in 2015 in ES6 features. But before that, we should like prototypes and prototype inheritance is all is available before introduction of classes already. And actually, before going to understand the classes, enter into the classes, we should definitely should learn what is a prototype and what is a prototypal inheritance. Actually, this is the most and important and advanced concept in JavaScript. Maybe many of uh, developers also are not aware of these things actually in clear. So at least we can try to learn these things because this is the most important topic in JavaScript. So whenever you are going to attend interview with a 3 years or 4 years of experience, definitely you will get all these questions. For freshers, maybe they don't ask these questions. They don't expect that the freshers should know all these things. Okay, fine. Without wasting time, we can jump into the topic. So today's topic is like a factory function because first we should understand what is factory functions and what is constructor functions. Then we can enter into the classes. Between that, we are going to learn what inheritance. Then we can slowly understand what is prototype and what is the importance of the prototypal inheritance and all these things. Okay, let's jump into the code and we can understand what is factory function. What is the need of these factory functions and construction functions and classes? Okay, these three are very close to each other. So we can first of all we should understand what is the need of a factory function or a constructor function or a class. Okay, this is very simple. If you're coming from C++ or a Java background, this is the very simplest topic for you because you have already learned OOPS concepts, right? This is also the fundamental thing that belongs to the OOPS concepts only. But the OOPS concepts in Java and C++ and other programming languages are very strong. Here, we are going to use that concept up to some extent. And here in JavaScript, the things are different. Okay, before using classes itself, we are following the OOPS concepts in JavaScript. But how they have implemented, how we are using, what are the limitations in JavaScript, we should understand clearly. So first, we can just go through the fundamentals. What is the need of using these factory functions and construction functions, and what is the need of classes? Then slowly we can understand one by one. So I'm just creating a two objects. So because already we have learned what is let and constant, so that I'm going to write with the help of constant. So constant, I'm just taking a player one. Suppose I want to define some player names. So I'm taking first name like Rohit and last name okay Sharma, Rohit Sharma. So I'm just taking examples from our Indian cricket team. And suppose if you want to get a full name, so I'm just defining a method. Okay, full name, or you can go with the full name. Okay, I'm just defining a function. So hopefully you all are aware of this. Otherwise, please go and learn how to create a simple object and what are the properties and what is the importance of method and all those things should learn and come back. Hopefully you are aware of all these things. That's why I'm directly explaining. So console.log. Suppose if you want to get the full name, because already the first name and last name is available in the same player one object, so that you can directly use it. So here we know already that this dot a first name, okay, and can go for this dot last name. So whenever you're creating any object, whenever you're creating an object, so this keyword refers to that particular object, because inside of that object you can use this keyword, so that will refer to the same object. Okay, of course lots of things we need to understand with uh, in this keyword, but slowly we should understand. We don't need to hurry now. So I've created a player one. So now I'm going to create another player, almost the same features. So now I need a player two. So here I'm writing the Virat and Kohli. Okay. So if you see, so this is the get full name for Kohli also same. This dot first name and this dot last name. So all the properties are same. Only values are changing. Here the method and method definition is completely same in both the objects. Suppose if you want to create uh, 12 players or 11 players, so you need to rewrite this code 11 times and you need to pass the different values. So if you see, there are we are just doing some repetitive things. So this syntax is all common in all the, suppose if you create 10 players objects, 10 objects for 10 players or 11 players, so you can find a lot of similarity. So we are doing a repetitive things like get full name. Okay, here you're writing get full name. So suppose if anything wrong in one object, again we need to replace the same logic in all the places. So this is a problem, but right now, no, we don't need to think too much about it. So first we should understand what is the advantage of factory function and all those things, and then slowly we can solve these problems. We can understand how to reduce the reusing the like how to reduce the repeating the code, and how we can go for reusing the code. Okay, so slowly. So just consider these two examples itself. So player one and player two, and if you create a more object, it's going to be repetitive things. So instead of that, we can go with a very simple approach that is called factory functions. What this function will do now, okay, instead of creating the object by ourselves, so if you define the definition and if you provide the required raw material for that, it will create an object and it will give it to you. A simple factory function, yes, it's similar to a factory. Suppose car factory is there. So for the car factory, what you need to do, you need to give inputs like raw material and all those things, and then the factory will assemble all those things and make, they will come up with a good paint and colors, and they will deliver a car. Okay, simple. And even take, you can take any kind of factory. Okay, the factory, suppose you can take a sugarcane factory. Suppose if you give a sugarcane as an input to that factory, what that factory will do, it will give a output as sugar. Okay, sugar, right? So look, you can take any kind of examples. So but yes, this is as simple as that. But how to define that, this is very very interesting. We all know that the functions are heart of the JavaScript. So here, yes, for creating objects also we are taking help of functions only. So function, I'm just writing create a player or create player object. So for, I'm just giving a simple. So here, so just follow the camel casing while creating the name for, while giving a name for a function. Okay, so create a player. So C should be capital, first letter always should be capital, and the first letter of second word and third word, it go to be, you can use as a capital letter. Okay, so for example, so first word, one, two, three, four. Okay, so if you have four words, okay, first letter in the first word, and first word should be all small, and from second word onwards you should give a first letter as capital. Okay, this is called camel casing. Okay, so it's very simple. I hope most of you are already aware of this. So here, what we are thinking, so instead of creating objects directly, so we need to create object with the help of a create player. So simple. Here, what I'm doing, I'm going to create a player. Okay, create a player. So player, what are the properties for the player? What we are expecting? So first name. Okay, first name. So we should pass as an input, right? Same. I'm giving a same name for that first name, comma last name. Because for the factory, you should give a raw material, then it will construct a create a product. So last name. So here also you can take the first name from the parameter, and you can take last name from that. Okay, you're creating a function, and you can go and create a method also, that is a get full name. Okay, get full name, just copying it simply. Okay, get full name function is also ready. So if you say the simple one, so what you're doing is create player is a function. You are giving a first name and last name, so it will create an object with those properties, and it will create a method also for you, and it should return, right? So it should return. So just do return a player. Simple. So just create an object, okay, and return that player so that we will utilize. So if we give a Rohit and Sharma, it will create an object with Rohit Sharma. If we give a Virat and Kohli, it will create an object for Virat Kohli. So then it's going to be very, very easy for us. So now I'm creating object like constant player one. Okay, already we have used the player one name, right? Identifier. So I'm just, for a namesake, I'm just commenting because this is just understanding purpose. So the same kind of objects we can get from this also. So just go for create the player. So just give a first name, okay, Rohit, the last name Sharma, Rohit and Sharma. Suppose if you want go for player 2, so just call create player. So what he will do, he will create, if you just provide the inputs, it will create everything. Virat Kohli. So super. So let's see what is there in player 1. So you can go and see console.log. Okay, player 1 and console.log player 2. Simple. First of all, let's see the things in the browser. Right click, inspect. So in the console, you will see it has created two objects for us. The first object is the first name Rohit and last name Sharma, and we have a get full name, right? And if you see, observe carefully here, the there is a word called prototype. Prototype. So actually, we didn't inform to that just create a prototype or something, but it has created automatically. But what is the importance of that? We can learn slowly. Don't worry about now. So very soon, in I think next few videos, we are going to enter in the prototype. Okay, the first name, last name, and just observe carefully here. We have one more object with first name Virat and last name Kohli, and we have a get full name, so we can utilize this one. So if you see now, if you want to call player one dot get full name, okay, it will return that Lohit Sharma and player. to dot get full name, it will return the Virat Kohli. Just go and refresh the code. So just delete all the breakpoints now. Those are not required. So we got the output. This is simple, right? So if you see, what are the advantage with that? Suppose in future, if you want to add more properties, so you no need to create like this. And even if you want to replace some code for any method, because common method, right? For all players, almost we are going to publish the same properties and same methods because they are representing for the same country and they are playing for the same team. That's why most of the time the statistics and properties are going to be very, very similar. So in that case, so instead of creating 100 players like norm with normal syntax, if you use the factory function, it's going to be very, very easy, and a lot of advantages are there. Those things we can learn slow, step by step later. First, we should understand what is a factory function, how to define that function. Then later we can understand the advantages of that. First, advantages, we can reuse the code. Okay, so if you see, once you define this get full name, it is going to be available for player 1, player 2, and if even if you create 100 players, so we have written the logic only once, and we are using that logic. Maybe if you create 100 objects, that means we are using the same logic, okay, 100 times by defining in one place only. This is the most important thing. And other advantages are there. Those things we can learn slowly. So this is what a factory function. So here one more thing is there. So here we are creating object like here and we are returning separately. So that what we can do instead of creating like this, because anyway we have creating only one object. So instead of like this, what you can do directly, you can do return. Okay, and you don't need to write this one. That means I'm just simplifying the code. We can write in this also. So create player, it's simply returning a object, means it is constructing the object and it is returning. Okay, it is taking the help of first name and last name and it is constructing. And one more thing, in ES6, if the key value and value, okay, the properties key and value is same, because this is the variable, right? This is variable. We are not hard coding this. We are not hard coding here. So because this is a variable anyway, we are referring this, and the information what you get with the first name is going to be bind to this first name. He in ES6, if the key and value are same, so you no need to write two times. So if you see, this is fine. So it will understand. If you don't give anything, it will understand that okay, key and value is first name, and it will read information from first name and it will create a first name colon and first name. So like this, last name. So if you see, you don't see any error, it will work properly. This is a super cool feature in JavaScript. So it's working perfect. So it has created a first name Rohit, last name Sharma, and first name Virat, and last name Kohli. Even for the last name also, this and this are same, right? The spelling is same. So that what you can do, you can. So initially it will take some time to understand all these things, but just do practice regularly, so these are going to be very, very easy. So it's a function, the first name, last name, and get full name, we are just defining the function and we are returning that. So this is going to be some optimized code. Okay, so this also will work 100% perfectly. So this is called a factory function. Means this function is going to behave like a factory. It will take some input like ingredients or raw material, and it will construct an object according to your expectation, and it will return. So that so we can reduce the number of lines of code, and we can utilize the opportunity of reusing the logic. This is what how to create a factory functions. Now we should go and understand what is a constructor function, because already factory function is there, and what is the need of constructor function? If even we have a constructor function, what is the need of to learn classes, to introducing the classes into the JavaScript? So those things we should understand. But many people will go and learn directly what are the classes, but in JavaScript, before introduction of the classes, we have a factory functions and construction functions, so that it's always good to learn the fundamentals. Okay, that's all for this video, and in the next video we are going to understand what are constructor functions. Okay, do practice, and then watch the next video. Bye bye.